All right, y'all. Listen, what's up? I'm gonna try to make this quick because I wasn't gonna do no video about this. However, I decided that I'm going to now because it's been on my spirit. I've been seeing a lot of like negativity going this girl way, and it's starting to get on my nerves. First things first, leave Caresha alone. Leave Caresha alone. Y'all need to back up off of that girl. Y'all trying to crucify this girl for something that is way bigger than her. And I feel like all y'all know that, but y'all still purposely choosing to just be some straight jerks like to this girl because it's just like yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Is there something? Is there something like in the water that thank God I haven't touched yet? As far as just making y'all feel like there needs to be somebody that y'all need to pick on. Like y'all need to cut that out. Um, and I say that because at the end of the day, that girl is human too. Again, this is bigger than just her, you know? Um, so here's the thing the interview, right? The interview with her and Santana. So the interview, if I had to sum it up in one word, I'm gonna just go with bias. The interview was biased. It was definitely biased. And I feel like it was biased because of the fact that here's the thing Santana is her friend. Santana is her ace, her ride or die, her everything. She even said it on the show that she's thankful for him because if it wasn't for him, she don't know if she really would have even gotten through everything that she's been going through lately because the people she thought was gonna be her ride or die wasn't there for her, right? So for that reason, it's biased that he is the one interviewing her because at the end of the day, he is her rock, he is her dog. He was there to see or go through some of this stuff during the process and through all the aftermath. So he's the wrong person to sit on the couch because at the end of the day, his job is to have her best interest at heart, which he definitely nailed it. Great job for him on, from the friends department, you know what I'm saying? And that's not even me being shady, like that's me being serious. Like, I'm glad she had a friend and I'm glad he was there for her. I'm glad he actually was able to help her see the light and all that and really like get through all of that stuff. That's his job as being, being a real friend to somebody. So shout out to him for that. However, because that was his role, he shouldn't have had the role of sitting on that couch interviewing her. That role should have been for somebody else, like more of a real journalist. And again, no disrespect to him, but it's like in those type of situations, it's somebody who practices some sort of journalism or something of that realm or has that type of an interest that would do good in talking to Caresha about that. Because here's the thing, the sole purpose of doing this was to was to speak to the public, speak to all the people, all the fans or lack thereof, because everybody pretty much can't stand a girl at the end of the day. So it's like, well, but then anyway, the purpose of the video was to talk to the people, right? Everybody else, right? So that being said, it should have been a journalist of some sort because because that's going to be the person that doesn't have any bias towards either sector. You know what I'm saying? Like they ain't got no bias towards Caresha. They ain't got no bias towards the people. None of that stuff. They're just the person in the middle that just wants to, ask the questions and get real answers. And they're going to get to it because they know how to address and ask those things. They even know how to do it respectfully. You know what I'm saying? Like matter of fact, I feel like that lady, Miss Nikki, who used to do the reunions on Love and Hip Hop, I feel like she would have been perfect for it. Or you know what? Actually, no, because they probably couldn't afford her because she now worked for ET. So yeah, that's even a bigger bag. We probably can't afford Miss Nikki. We gonna leave her at ET. But who would have been perfect for it? That also has studied journalism. Claudia Jordan. She definitely would have been perfect to do this, especially with the sentiment she kind of has behind it anyway, kind of following the story and everything. That would have been perfect for Claudia to do, especially considering she not working at TGIF no more. No thanks to Al's hating ass. You know what? That's a different conversation. We ain't even gonna go there. But yeah, I think Claudia would have been good for interviewing Caresha because Claudia would have been able to really get her to to address the questions a lot more specifically and a lot more directly, because yeah, that's just that on that. So yeah, it's biased because of the fact that he was the one doing the interview. Another reason why it's biased is because of the questions that he asked. When he would ask these questions, and how he asked the questions, he would ask the questions in the way that by the time he was done asking the question, he kind of already answered the question for her, in a sense, to the point where all she did was pretty much just regurgitate what he just said. And that's pretty much how we got answers to every question he did ask her, except for when asking about the video. I remember he did say, you didn't, like, you, so you're saying that you didn't experience these things, like what the context of what happened in that video and all those different allegations that had been presented to him in court and everything. Like, you're saying you didn't experience that. And she did deliberately say, no, that wasn't my experience. I didn't experience that. Like, I didn't, the situation of their relationship, that wasn't my situation. That's not, that wasn't what I experienced. That's not what I dealt with. I didn't see that type of behavior. He was in this love era, this love era, this, almost is given like rebranding. And then on top of that, he was being celebrated by so many different people in award shows and stuff like that, to where it's like, yeah, she saw a different side of him. She saw something different than what he was displaying prior to meeting him. And that's something that I feel like we're all missing too, is that Caresha's not one of the people in the industry that has known him the whole time he's been in the industry. There's a lot of people that probably did catch wind of how he was treating Cassie, or catch wind of the freak offs and all those different little things, right? But Caresha's only known him for a couple years. A lot of these other people in the industry and a lot of other people from round the way, they've been knowing that man for years. So yeah, there's certain things that she just is not privy to. So if he definitely was feeling like it was time to do something a little different, even if that is something that he's still into, if it's time for him to pause on that for a minute and do something a little different and try to navigate his way away from those accusations by being good to Caresha, then that's probably what he did, which is why she can sit here and honestly say she hadn't experienced those things, and I feel like at the end of the day, if she didn't experience it, she didn't experience it. This is literally what she's saying, her own words. That was not my experience. So what we supposed to do? Make it her experience at that point? No, we can't do that. And some people feel like they don't know why she didn't reach out to, when the video came out, oh, why you ain't say anything? You didn't say anything. You didn't address anything. You didn't say your condolences to her or whatever. What's she sending Cassie condolences for? And this ain't no disrespect, because again, what is she sending Cassie condolences for? Because the video contains the man that she's currently checking for, into, in love with, who she did not break up with because he did something wrong to her, by the way. Like, Caresha's still very much checking for this man. This video just comes out of nowhere, and it shows it's definitely Diddy on there. You can't say for a split second that, oh, that's probably not him. No, that's that man. And this is somebody that she's currently checking for right now, doing some unspeakable things, some unforgivable things, some I'm glad it wasn't me in this video things. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, oh my God, like, you did this to that girl. So you did, like, that's crazy. But you ain't never done nothing that I still ain't got nothing to hang on to be mad and just want to fight you, because at the end of the day, this is a video of you tussling with a girl that I don't know, by the way. I don't know this girl. I ain't never met this girl. She had already came, popped her back, and left the scene by the time the city girls jumped on the scene. So what I'm supposed to do? Like, I'm sitting here, that girl probably she had way more other things on her mind than reaching out to a chick she don't know. saying, I'm so sorry that you went through that, girl, with the man I currently love right now who ain't never did nothing to me. She not looking to say that. She ain't even thinking about Cassie. And that ain't even no disrespect, because here on the flip side, y'all think Cassie was thinking about her? Y'all think Cassie was sitting at the edge of her seat on her couch with her phone in her hand waiting to receive a tweet on X from Caresha talking about, I'm so sorry you went through that, girl? No, she was not thinking about Caresha. She wasn't thinking. Hell, she wasn't even thinking about JT, Diddy, the security guard, the other man, or the other man. She wasn't thinking about nobody. She wasn't even thinking about Kid Cudi and his blown up car. She wasn't thinking about nobody. That girl was probably sitting somewhere on a yacht with a suitcase full of cash waiting to go trick it off on the next store that she pull up on. She was not worried about that. And I feel like we as fans, we be worried about the wrong thing a lot. Like, and we put so much negative energy into stuff that doesn't even warrant that. Let me see, what else? She talked about. Oh, there was one other thing too I wanted to address too, the whole tweet thing. Like, people really wanted her to address the tweet that she had made to that other girl Diddy used to mess with, where she was like, I had Diddy put you on your knees, or whatever she said. People want to know, like, well, it's mighty funny how that was your language. Those are the things you talk. That whole tweet fits right into all the things he later became accused of. You know what I'm saying? So what that be about? Like, what you like, what's going on there? I honestly feel like it was just a really coincidental tweet though. And that's not even me just trying to be that's not me trying to be biased and, just have her back, because really this is me definitely having Caresha back. But at the same time, I definitely want to hold her accountable for some of the mistakes, like all the mistakes made in this interview, not addressing things head on and just regurgitating everything that Saucy said instead. Like, I want to hold her accountable for some things, but I definitely don't feel like she deserves what she's getting from y'all right now. But I do feel like that tweet, the context of that tweet, like, I just feel like the things that she said, that just was it just happens to be so coincidental to everything that came in the near future from that tweet. And that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I just really feel like that was just an unfortunate tweet that came to backfire on her in the future days to come. She addressed the City Girls, the whole City Girl thing with her and JT. I just feel like, honestly, there's people that are telling us, oh, she was the demise of the City Girls. Oh, she gave up on the City Girls. She didn't want to. No, it takes two to tango. Okay, and I feel like the demise of the City Girls is a multitude of a few things. I feel like because of the fact that they knew each other prior to all this fame and stuff, I do feel like there was probably some swept under the rug, either irritations or some swept under the rug concerns or something that they probably should have, talked to each other about, that probably didn't seem big enough to even really address. It's just, that irritated me for a moment, but whatever, I'm over it now. It's just like, so much of that, builds up over time, so I feel like it's a mixture of like them having their own personal internal issues that only they would understand, considering they were two people that had a camaraderie prior to all of this, so I feel like it's some internal background issues that they should have addressed on their own, but they didn't, mixed with the stress of it all. Like, because Caresha went through a lot of stress. She held down the City Girls, man. She held them down while JT was in prison. And I'm not even faulting JT for going to prison, because shit, you gotta do what you gotta do to make it out here in this world sometimes when you ain't got it. So she had to go to prison for a minute and sit down. But when she got out, it was just like Caresha going through all this stress of holding down the City Girls. Already had one son, then got pregnant and had a whole nother baby. While holding down the City Girls while JT was in prison. And then getting out. Now we gotta play catch up with her. Still trying to force and fight and do, to push the City Girl name while being hated on the whole time. All that going on, And at this time, Caresha she was in her relationship with Southside. Then she got out the relationship with Southside, was single for a little minute before she started dibbling dabbling with Diddy. But the whole time, JT been out of prison. She been shacking up with Uzi. These are two totally different worlds. The City Girls was never really tight, like under each other's roof and under each other's armpit all the time to really form the united front we needed them to have when it came to them spilling out in music. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a disconnect that it was definitely able to be detected even in the music sometimes. And that's because they were in two different worlds. You know what I'm saying? As soon as JT got out, she built this bond with Uzi. She in one state over here, Caresha in another state over here, in a whole nother camp. Y'all in two totally different atmospheres, experiencing two totally different things. And then, of course, when you are around other people, you just automatically kind of like pick up certain things, and you kind of like, there's a certain automatic influence that you kind of have with this new surrounding, because there are certain things that you definitely enjoy that you see. So you're kind of taking certain thing in, you find new interests and things like that, and you kind of start rocking with that. But the whole time you're still in a group. So now when it's time to come back with your group member, both of y'all then picked up so many new interests. Interests. Now I sound just as screwed up as Caresha. Y'all pick so many, you guys pick up on so many different interests. But when y'all come together, those interests don't mesh well. They don't connect. They don't mix well. So there's this big clash, On top of that, these are two girls that's still growing. They're still young. They're still growing, and they were heavily in the media. So they're definitely in the comments. Half the time they was firing back, But so with just dealing with all of that, like soaking in what all the public got to say too, I feel like the demise of the City Girls became a mix of their own personal unresolved issues that they may have had, on top of all of the famous issues that they endured and never addressed, on top of the two different influences they were receiving, being in two totally different worlds while being an active group in the industry, on top of letting the public get in their head too with all these different comments and posts and memes and all these different little things. It's just a mixture of all that stuff. And yeah, here we are. City Girls is over. However, I was rooting for them. I thought they was gonna make it, but if it takes for them to be great separately, I'm here for that too, because I'm with them. I love both of those girls. JT is really doing her thing right now. I want her to keep doing it. I want her to keep pushing. I want her to stay quiet. I don't want her to address nothing. I want her to keep celebrating that City Cinderella mixtape that I definitely feel should be an album, because it's album worthy and it slaps. Okay, it slaps. It probably sounds better than any City Girl project. But again, this because y'all wasn't really intertwined like y'all should have been. Because let me tell you something. Matthew Knowles did not have Destiny's Child living and being separate when they was active in the group, in the industry back then. Them girls was in each other's faces, under each other's armpits, in each other's cat all the time. Like, he made them girls eat, sleep, and breathe each other. He made them girls be a real unit, you know what I'm saying? But you wasn't getting that with the City Girls. Them girls was always separate. They was only together when it was time to work, which is why work didn't work. But again, if they work out separately, then that's cool too. I'm with that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got on that. I just need y'all to leave Caresha alone. Again, I love Caresha. I think she's doing good. She is a mogul. Keep saying it, girl. You doing your thing. I don't care what nobody say. Don't let them stop you.
Something went wrong.
You got
Please try again.
Oh, y'all. Sorry, that was my Siri. But yeah, she doing her thing. And y'all, again, lay off her. She got kids, bro. Like, she got kids. And them kids look forward to her coming home every day, taking care of them and everything. Like, y'all can't keep doing that to that girl. Like, yeah. Because if she was gone tomorrow, if the City Girls died tomorrow, y'all make all three of their albums go platinum by the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, celebrate people while they're still here. Give them grace while they're still here. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's all I got. I ain't gonna talk y'all head off too much about trying to influence you to be a little more nicer, but y'all definitely should start trying to be more nicer. All right? Taylor out.